Hey everyone, it's Nick Sims, and this is going to be the speed build Nick Studio. And in this, I decided to use the smallest lot on New Cresta's neighborhood. Since it's a studio unit, I didn't need that much room. And I made the closet right off the entryway, but it'll be facing the bedroom. The kitchen is the area that I'm currently working on right now, and the dining and living room is that little section right there. I was adding a little pop outs just to give the build some dimension, and I put a half wall between the living and the kitchen area so that the dining space can actually sit um, directly across from the kitchen. And here I was just messing with the pack, trying to get the custom content to disappear. I didn't want to use any for this specific build, so I didn't also want to start searching through all of that custom content that I have, because as you can tell, there is a ridiculous amount of it that I have. And I also didn't want to turn my custom content off because this neighborhood, or not neighborhood, this current save is also the same one that has my LP on it as well. So I was afraid if I turned off the uh what is it, the custom content, it'd affect my LP as well. So I just left it as is. As you can see, I'm kind of just chucking some windows in here, and I'm also putting a roof on there so that I could have a um, border that goes across it. I don't know why I kind of drew a blank on that word right there. And I'll put this house on a foundation, but I kind of wanted to get what I wanted the roof to look like, as well as any other extra added bits. Any extra added bits, I wanted to make sure that I had the floor already connected to it, so when I raised it, I didn't have to add it later. I put all of the roofing in one direction, and I just made the roof height kind of descend from the back to the front. Or I guess, really, if you were staring at the entrance of the house, it would be from the right side to the left side, so it kind of goes higher to lower. This little section, I wanted to, at first I was going to put the barbecue grill on this little tiny patio right here. And then I thought, oh, that's kind of a bad idea, because technically you're not supposed to put grills on patios like that in case you might start a fire. So I just closed it in and put some stairs here, and I just put a little tiny chair in that section. I actually spent quite a bit of time on the landscaping of this house. I actually have not spent that much time landscaping. I normally just uh, plop a few trees in at the end of it, and then I'll move. Um, and it never really looks too well, so I decided to actually focus more on the aesthetic of the build on the exterior before I work on the interior. So I wanted to get all of the colors right on the exterior, what I wanted my walkway pathway to look like, and then I started now with these plants. I used some of the plants from the Jungle Adventure pack. Here I couldn't get that to fit. It kept on floating. And I just recently found out that if you actually lower the foundation before you put the plants near it, then they won't raise. I'll have to definitely keep that in mind for the next time. But I put a lot of foliage. Wow, struggling with that word. And the front will change up a little bit. Like the two little bushes won't be in front. I didn't really want each side to be the same. I kind of wanted it to be different, a little bit more natural. And instead of two trees, I end up with only, well, three trees. I end up with two trees. The one that has the right side that has two trees on it, I remove the furthest one away. And that little fountain there definitely stays. I put some terrain painting on here, just getting that to make it look realistic. and I'll have to end up going back over it a couple of times because I'll make some changes. And once I'm in the backyard area, I realized there's not much back there and it looks kind of empty. So I decided to put a little pathway out to the uh, little tiny pathway out to the grill area. And then I decided to put a grill in. That's the chair that I chucked in there. It was just a nice light wood color, light wood. Yeah, kind of like a sable wood, I guess I'd call it. And that grill color will change because I realized that a lot of the build that I have here, the exterior and everything, is very monochromatic. There's not very much color, as I say that as I'm putting yellow and orange flowers in. But just the larger items seem like there's not enough color to it, so I change it to a big red just to give it a little oomph. And as you can see, I'm putting the pool in. As I said, it felt really empty, this backyard, so that pool is definitely raising the price of this house. It's like 71,000 simoleons. It's pretty expensive. It is on the gallery right now. You can look it up by searching hashtag Nick Sims or hashtag Nick Studio, all one word. That way, and it's right there in the top corner. That way you'll be able to find it and download it pretty easily. And that's just me putting those plants in. And then I'm going to put a little border around it to kind of make it seem as if we're trying not to make the dirt fall into the pool. Because there's a lot go. That would be terrible. It would be awful. Imagine trying to clean that up. It's probably already bad enough with that tree hanging over it. So I wanted to put a little outdoor seating area to somewhere for the Sims to eat at in case they, grilled outside and they didn't want to go inside and sit at the little table in there. And then that little blue patio chair is there as well. And I changed the pool, the ground floor of the pool, I changed it to the brick that's currently on the ground right there. And the walls are that same kind of brick that's on the walls. Tossed in these two heating lamps. Wow, really couldn't think of those. From the Dine Out pack. And two of the, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the name. Two little chairs beside the grill in case somebody wants to sit and talk. If you're having a little tiny pool party, that's a real good way to go because the house is so small, so it helps move people out. This side of the house is interesting. It is difficult for me because it's got a good shape to it, but it was missing some plants, and I started chucking in a bunch of plants, and it's too much. It was just a little bit too much, and I didn't like the way that was looking. So I ended up removing this section a little bit and having a little less of the bushes. And I chucked some flowers actually in the front of it. And on this side of the house, I put some flowers, those same kind of red and blue, I believe, is the ones I wanted to use. I keep going to that jungle adventure plant. I really wanted to use it. It's too tropical for this area, though. I tried to make the plants match this neighborhood. So I kept on looking like up and around and just swinging as you see, I pull the camera out and swing it around to make sure that it kind of goes with the flow of what the rest of the neighborhood looks like. And as you see, I removed all those plants that were right there. I put that little balcony area that doesn't go anywhere because it's the living kitchen room area or living dining area where that's at. So I can't do that. And now I moved on to the interior of the house because I'm kind of content with the outside. And at first I put tile in the kitchen, tile in the bathroom, and then tile right in front of the door to the patio or the back. And I put, what's the word that I'm thinking of? Carpet. thinking I put carpet on the rest of the house because I was like, that's how most small studios are done, or all of it's wood. And I end up changing it. I used that. I put the blue on the wall, and then I put a yellow and blue on the kitchen. I didn't want everything to be so samey. Uh, I wanted to add a little, what's the word that I'm looking for? Personality into this house. So not everything was bought at the same time, so not everything is going to match. And the only thing that's really flows well with the house are the existing fixtures. I put some, what are those? Oh my goodness. Words today, I just can't think of them. The problem is I'm trying to minimize my and uhs without having to cut them out. A little test I'm trying to do. I completely changed my language speaking. I put columns, that's the word I'm looking for. I put columns between the living room and the kitchen area because I didn't want just the wall to be the dividing barrier between it. I'll remove those, but I will put those back in there. I just wanted to have the glass as well, the glass on the cabinets, upper cabinets. Now I'm chucking in some decorative furniture. It takes me a minute. At first, it looks like it's going pretty fast, but once I start trying to search, it's hard because all this custom content that I have and the little knickknacks, and I just really trying to make sure that I I make sure that I don't accidentally put custom content in here. I removed that window and I put this big one in there, and I realized, no, that's not going to really look good. And then I also realizing a lot of things while I was building this, that I wanted to show off that yellow in this room. And since most of it was covered up the by the cabinets, I decided to leave that one mirror, or that one section of the wall, blank. I love those blue, kind of retro-ish pieces. The words, the refrigerator and the stove. Those two things were kind of retro, so that's why I put those two retro chairs in there to begin with. But they change. I use those because I kind of wanted to also go with that. This house is a little bit of an older one that someone got, and they have some modern furniture that they're chucking in to the house as well. Those chairs aren't modern, but they go well with the idea of I don't want everything to match. So like they picked up that table, that bar table, and then they picked up those two chairs later. And those two chairs that are right there come from the Jungle Adventures, and the yellow couch comes from the Parenthood pack. I think that goes from the toddlers. I think that little table underneath there. I'll move the chairs around a little bit more so that they fit more in the room. That is another table from one of the stuff packs. I don't think it's laundry day. I don't remember. And I realized, oh, I don't have room for a laundry room. We wanted laundry stuff so bad, and now that we have it, I keep forgetting about the pieces. It's just like a pool normally. If you have a pool, if you don't have the pieces for it, or if you're not actively thinking about it, then you're gonna forget it. So I remembered it, and I was like, well, I have an extra little tile right there, so I chucked it in. And I was having issues putting that curtain on there because I kind of wanted to have a curtain that you can use to cover up that washer and dryer out of the bedroom to kind of make it look pretty, I guess is the word I'm using. I'm putting air quotations in the air. Not that you can see me. And then I changed up some of the chairs and the table again. And this is me putting wood. I'm like, I don't know if I want a dark wood or a light wood. So I settled with the light wood. And I believe I keep that rug, but I changed the color. Yeah, I changed it to that light, that one. A white. And I chuck a bunch of plants in here to try to give the space to seem like it breathes a little bit more. And I actually spent quite a bit of time on this build. I'm pretty sure I spent like 2.5 hours on this. I really don't know how. I was like, oh, I'll get this done. It's a real small. Nope, not at all. I'm chucking some pictures in here. And at first I put a little vacuum, those little vacuum cleaners on the floor, but I decided to remove it and put a laundry hamper because I realized that I didn't want my sim to drop clothes all over the floor. That would really suck. And since you only need one in the house, that's where it'll go. And my initial thought was to put that laundry hamper in the bathroom, but no. There wasn't enough room with what I did in there because I wanted a double sink in there. So that will change. Just trying to find clutter to put around to make the house look lived in. I end up removing one of those plants that is on the table because I didn't like it. It was a little too much on that table. I kind of wish I removed the plant that was on the dining room. I don't it that also makes that area seem cluttered, especially in the pictures. When I looked at it, I'm like, oh, it just looks like kind of a little bit of a mess. It looks a little bit too much. But so if you download this house, feel free to remove some of those items that are there. Now I'm putting a bunch of lights in. I didn't want to stick too much on overhead lighting. I wanted to kind of have a little bit more of a natural light. So I used the candle light, which I like. No, instead of harsh white lights is really what I'm thinking of. I say that as I put in these wall lights here that are that harsh light, but I like the contrast. The yellow, it sticks out more than, like, if you look at the living area compared to the bedroom. Oh, this. I forgot I did this. I started It felt like that area was kind of empty. I don't know why I would think that was empty, but I was gonna put those cabinets in there or those shelves in there. Didn't like it, so I ended up removing it and putting the the little string lights in there, and then I'll string them over into the bedroom later after I get done with the bedroom to kind of make it seem like, oh, she had some extra lights and she just strung them around the house. Why not? It's cute. You should have strung them around some pictures. That might have been cuter. This bed is from the Glamour Life stuff, and the end tables are from Jungle Adventure. Trying to get these plants on this table was difficult because it's just floating, and then I realized if I move that one, then it'll go with the little. If I hold Alt and move it, then it would flow properly. I tried to do it with the other side, it didn't work, so I just chucked in a little plant, and I'm throwing a couple more items on the walls. And I want to get some mirrors in, so one kind of seemed uneven, so I put two to kind of make it balance out. And I use I think it's one of the unlocks. Yeah, the unlocks I put on above the closet door. See, I put those lights in. I liked it. And then I put the tile in the bathroom, and I put two cabinets, or a sink and a cabinet, in here from the Jungle Adventure pack, and the ones that I made them match the kitchen. That way it kind of seems like they got the appliance and all of it was put in at the same time. Smart on me, smart on me. And then I had to move them a little bit because they were glitching out with the mirror. Don't know why they were doing that. That was annoying. And then what are we doing here? Bathroom. See, that was me removing that and putting that in. Then chucking in just a couple little decorative items here. And I'll put mirrors actually. I'll move the window and put mirrors on the wall. And note for the future, if you have multiple mirrors in overlaid like that, and if you have them if you stare into the other mirror, it glitches out. It's so annoying. It drove me nuts. And then just a couple more decorative items, and then I believe I'll move out to the pool area and chuck in those outdoor lights. Yep, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that pole because I was like, I gotta go somewhere. Like I need that second pole. So I finally found the little pole and then searched for the lights. And I'm like, where is it at? And I was like, oh, it's in outdoor lighting. That makes sense. So if you see that it's a little bit too long, but so I end up moving everything over and just making it work as much as possible. It's not even per se, but it works out pretty well. And I think that is just about it. I want to say I think I was pretty much done after this point. Just taking a little peek around the house to make sure everything looks good. Yep. And here are the screenshots here. So it's just going to go through the house of all the shots that I took. And definitely, if you like this house, download it on the gallery. And let me know what you think about it. You know, comment suggestions, what I can do to improve my building. I definitely would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, so just the living room area. I took a few shots, different angles, and that light burning is cute. And yep, see, if you look into the kitchen, it looks a little cluttered. And the bedroom, and then another shot of the bedroom so that you can kind of see the picture on the wall and that curtain, and then another shot of the bedroom so you can see the laundry room. Then we'll move to the bathroom. I take 2 shots in the bathroom from 2 different angles, and then I'll go out to the outside so you'll kind of see the patio area, and then I'll take a few shots of the outside. That right there. And I also take a floor plan so that you can kind of see how the house flows. If you kind of didn't already, there's not much to it, but love that fountain on the pool. That was a really good idea. So, yep. Like I said, please let me know what you think in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.